Magazine Dreams was first announced, I was genuinely excited. Having watched Generation Iron in high school, I had developed a deep appreciation for bodybuilding, not just as a sport, but as a grueling, obsessive lifestyle. The premise alone was intriguing, but with Jonathan Majors in the lead, it felt like something truly special was on the horizon. Of course, the film never saw its intended 2023 release due to Majors' domestic violence charges, and like many, I had to reconcile my anticipation with the very real disappointment in his actions. I do not condone what he did, but when the film finally released, I felt compelled to see it. I'll never forget the first time I saw Jonathan Majors. It was in The Last Black Man in San Francisco, a movie that stunned me with its quiet power. Majors played a supporting role, but it was one of those rare performances that etched itself into my memory. I walked away thinking that guy is going to be a star. And for a while, he was. Climbing fast, taking on complex, demanding roles that proved his range and presence. He wasn't just one of the most exciting actors of the moment, he felt destined for greatness. Watching Magazine Dreams, I couldn't help but think, if this had come out before the incident, Majors would have won an Oscar. It's that level of performance. This is his raging bull, his Joker, a character so steeped in pain, obsession, and volatility that it becomes nearly impossible to look away. Jonathan Majors is in every scene and he gives everything. This is not just a portrayal, it's a full body possession. He makes you uncomfortable, sympathetic, even scared, often all at once. The film itself isn't really about bodybuilding. It uses it as a lens to examine isolation, obsession, and the brutal desire to be seen and validated. Majors plays Killian Maddox, a socially stunned, emotionally unstable man on the fringes of society. There's a very clear implication that he's on the spectrum, but the film doesn't try to pathologize him or simplify his rage. Instead, it lets you sit with him in his silence, his bursts of fury, his failed attempts at connection. In some ways, the experience feels closer to horror than drama. The dread builds slowly, and by the time it reaches its breaking point, it's suffocating. From a technical standpoint, Magazine Dreams is equally impressive. The score is sparse but haunting, pulsating like a heartbeat during key scenes. The cinematography is stark, using shadows and tight framing to trap us inside Killian's mental state. The sound design is visceral. Every breath, groan, and strained exhale feels close, invasive. The lighting choices, too, reflect the emotional weight of the story, often casting Killian in dim, oppressive tones, reinforce his sense of disconnection from the world. Still, the film is heavy, emotionally and structurally. At nearly 2 hours and 15 minutes, there are stretches that feel a bit too long. Some sequences could have been trimmed without losing their impact, but even in its slower moments, Major's performance keeps you locked in. It's rare to see a film this bleak and uncompromising, centered so firmly on a single character, and even rarer to see it executed with this level of care. Then there's the elephant in the room. The artist versus the art. It's impossible not to wonder whether Killian's volatile, violent nature hit too close to home. The parallels are eerie, and as much as I was blown away by Major's performance, I left the theater with a pit in my stomach. Not because of the film's darkness, but because it's now forever tied to real-life harm. Victims deserve to be heard before redemption is discussed, and that conversation isn't mine to lead, but it does complicate the viewing experience. Magazine Dreams deserved a brighter moment before everything came crashing down. It was supposed to be Major's Oscar breakthrough, a performance that would have defined his legacy. Instead, it's been quietly released, under-promoted, and quietly watched by those still curious enough to see what's the hype about. There's sadness in it, just not for the actor who squandered his opportunity, but for the filmmakers who crafted something bold, uncomfortable, and important. In the end, Magazine Dreams is a devastating character study, one that lingers, unsettles, and refuses to be easily digested. Whether or not it finds its audience now, it's undeniably a film worth talking about.
Oof.
How are you doing, Killian?
What?
When I close my eyes and dream,
What?
they're gonna put a picture of me on the cover of the magazine. And the entire world will know my name.
Tune in every Friday for new movie videos. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below what other movies you would like me to do videos on. Thank you, Mom, for editing the scripts for my movie essays. I appreciate you. Till next time, thanks for watching. Catch you on the flip side.